खुददारी पाजी दौलत आए, मेहनत ही पाजी कमाई आए। इन जुस्तुजू आई लगन से इज्जत दुनिया में बनाया यूं। वड्डे दिल वारा एहसास वारा असा जेड़ो कोई न आए। मेमण आयो असा मेमण आयो, आजो आए पूरो जहान। मेमण आयो असा मेमण आयो, आजो आए पूरो जहान। सादी सी पाजी तबीयत आए, सादो सो पांजो मिजाज आए। बसूता बदे जे दिले में जमानत पांजो राज आए। खुशियों भी मिली ने मनायूं ता, दुख में भी साथ निभायूं ता। दिल से बदे से मिलूं ता, की तो रिवाज आए पांजो। मिली नरियूं ता सच्चायू दिल जा, मिठी आए पाजी जबान। मेमण आयो असा मेमण आयो, आजो आए पूरो जहान। मेमण आयो असा मेमण आयो, आजो आए पूरो जहान।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। बधेन के वेलकम करांती असांजो पहलो वेबिनार आए टीचर्स डे स्पेशल। वेबिनार्स तो हमेशा थिया ताज करा, तभी ये फर्स्ट वेबिनार फॉर टीचर्स डे स्पेशल पर ऑर्गेनाइज करिए मेमन एसोसिएशन ऑफ श्रीलंका जे तरफ से। कदे भी पर एजुकेशन के बारे में तो हमेशा सुनूंता है ने घाल भी करूंता है, टीचर्स के बारे में भी सुनूंता है, घाल करूंता है, हर चीज पर करूंता है। तभी आज पांच साथ 3 एक्सपर्ट टीचर्स एंड 3 एक्सपर्ट पैनल्स एंड पांबेगो ने जो एजुकेशन के बारे में डिस्कस कर ले। वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द एजुकेशन, एजुकेटिंग द यंगर जनरेशन ऑन हाउ टू बी मोटिवेटेड एंड आल्सो द सपोर्ट गिवन टू द चिल्ड्रन बाय देयर पेरेंट्स। हेलो, तहाने पर शुरू करूं ताई। आई एम शाहिला साबिल, अजान जी होस्ट या। आई एम शाहिला साबिल, द होस्ट फॉर टुडेज सेशन। There's a quote हमेशा मुझे दिल से बहुत करीब है, that is, give me a fish, I will eat fish for a day, teach me how to fish and I will eat it every single day or a lifetime. तो हेलो, ये quote इडो नंढो आई, तभी नंढे quote जी इडो वडो मतलब आई, बोझ गहरो मतलब आई, जो पंजा 3 experts पंगे सुनाई ना कुरो आए करने। So, बदे जे पहला, let me welcome the Vice President of Memon Association of Sri Lanka, Mr. Hassan Siddique, to share a few words in this wonderful evening. Audience के भी सुनवाई पूरो चोंता करेंगे। अस्सलाम वालेकुम भा कियो।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। ठीक है शेरा, थैंक यू। पंज
यस, हाँ तो किन चाय पानी बदे थी है जो डिनर बदे थी वैसे मैं मुझे तेज रिलैक्स जो टाइम बस दो।
ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच। रिलैक्स
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। So how are you Hassan bha कियो?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आई एम फाइन। शेला है कि किए?
ठीक है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। ता पान की जरा का जो विचार जरा बता रही सेशन के बारे में या पूरा सोच होता है एजुकेशन के बारे में या टीचर के बारे में जो कुछ भी जो विचार है जाए चुता सिगो संके
नारो प्रोफेशनल्स आई जरा ना उन त बची पांजा बच्चा लॉस्ट બીજું ચૂંટણી
MashaAllah.
ને પા ગ્રેટફुल हूँ कि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आई जरा प्रोफेशनल्स पंहिंजे कम्युनिटी में आहिनि ने इन वटासी जो पंहिंजे बच्चनि खे जो बेनिफिट मिली रहियो आहे इनमें इंशाल्लाह जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन पाण खे फ्रूटफुल जो रहनो ने विदाउट विच वील माशाल्लाह आई करो था ग्रेट जॉब करी रहिया आहियो ऐं प्रोफेशनल्स जो जो टाइम ॾींदे ई शेयर नॉलेज शेयर करी रहिया आहियो ई पंहिंजे कम्युनिटी लाइ करीने हिकिड़ो ग्रेट एसेट आहे. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hassan Ba. Thank you so much for coming for this webinar.
Yes. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hassan.
And just wanted to say a few words about this program. Starting to which I would like to, on behalf of the president of our Women Association and the committee members, like to welcome all of you all, and I would like to thank you and your team for doing this program under the MSL banner, and I would like to wish you all the best for doing such thing. Besides, अनकरो ऐड करनो है कि पांजो मेमन एसोसिएशन बस ही खाली अकरो हॉल प्रोवाइड करन जो ने ये अकरो एरो है कि पांजो इन जो पांजी मेमन जी आइडेंटिटी पांजी मेमन जी लैंग्वेज मेमन जो कल्चर ये बदे प्रोटेक्ट करे लाइ करे ने पंहिंजो इंशाल्लाह पंहिंजो सामने एरा की प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज करना है जिनसे पंहिंजो ही कायम रहनो ने इनसे इन जो बेनिफिट्स गिनी सघंदा आहियूं ने आई जरा ॿिया अगरि प्रोफेशनल्स की अॻियां अचना ने इन्हनि जा बि पाण खे अगरि थोरो चवे थो अगरि इन्हनि जो फील्ड में जो प्रोफेशनल्स आहिनि इन बारे अगरि पाण से शेयर करना ने अहिड़ा प्रोग्राम्स में एडिंग थी ना त इंशाल्लाह पंहिंजी कम्युनिटी घणी बेनिफिट रहनि इंशाल्लाह ऐं बधे के शुक्रगुज़ार आहियां. थैंक यू वेरी मच ऐं करो था ई प्रोग्राम लाइ ने बस ने लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट मूंखे समीर भाउ खे बि थैंक करनो हो जो इन प्रोग्राम जो इन उन जो त ई प्रोग्राम अॻियां न वधियो.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your inspiration. Yeah, thank you for your kind words, sir. Thank you. Right. So, Hane, now it's time for us to welcome the first guest for today. So, as you all know, definitely, I get a khabar jai pelo guest ke rahe karne, but still, I'm going to shwanti ke rahe karne. Mr. Samir Anis. Mr. Samir kani chuneta, there are so many Samirs in our com, itra Samir zain, ki achine itra famous zain. Samir Yunus, Samir Anis, badhe era che. So, but it's okay. But this is not Samir Yunus. But let me introduce our first guest for today, Mr. Samir Anis. Mr. Samir Anis. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. So, yes, Mr. Samir Anis is a positive person who has an enthusiastic outlook on life. He knows what he is doing and got a great sense of achievement from seeing his students develop and grow up as individuals. He is a co-founder and one of the directors at Platinum Business Academy. His journey began from a business-oriented family to being one of the first in the community in pursuing excellent heights in the fields of education and lecturing. He had some very interesting and positive thoughts on the importance of education in today's era and within our community. Each and introduction, so Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
Take your honor.
Bit more than what I expected, but thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hold on, just relax. Let me introduce the second speaker for today.
Sure.
Yes. Let me, the second speaker for today is Mrs. Neelam Abdul Ghani. She is a lecturer and a counselor at UCL, Universal College, Lanka. She copes very well with pressure and can adapt her style on teaching methods when needed to deliver consistent results. She has also an understanding of a bigger picture and the pressures that are placed on the institute. She is also an effective communicator and a young mom of 3 grown-ups. Welcome, Mrs. Neelam.
Thank you. Thank you, Shahida. Hi, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, dear?
I'm good. Excited to be here and thank you for having me.
Yes, okay. And third speaker, now it's time for me to introduce the third speaker, guest speaker for today. She's a mom of two and a director at MYI Academy. And she is highly effective in behavioral management and focuses on 3 R's. 3 R's. The first R is respect, the second one is response, and the third one is right way to learn. Assalamu alaikum, Munazia. We can't hear you, Munazia.
Yes. Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, doing great.
Alhamdulillah. Dina bada kari giriya, cha pani bada thi riyo na? Sanjay mein banjo. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So let me ask this question first. Now, Mr. Samir Anis, this question is for you. Tell us about your journey, from where you started. Was it a passion of yours? When you by nanda wata desi hane tak kan jo kuro wo matlab ki ai sochya kya hai nande bacche se gine nai itro ida wada matlab ai in kari signa karane
Nanda was study make ki idea na we teach kale. I had zero ideas about teaching, and when I was looking for professional options, careers, like teaching was probably the last thing in my mind. Like it was not in my cards to do it. I just wanted to, I was good in academics. Banan mein saro school mein, like, straight A's for O-levels, straight A's for A-levels. So I just wanted to pursue a career, maybe work in a company and see how things go. I did SIMA. Then after doing SIMA, when I started working, the person who recruited me was someone called Rizvi Taha. So he saw my CV. He saw that, academically results Jaksarawa. So while I was not directly working for him, about 6 months after I started working at Timex, which is also owned by one of our Memons, Mr. Anis Machar, who was also our former president, he was kind enough to give me an opportunity to work there. Things really changed for me when I was there, because this Mr. Rizvi Taha, who happened to be the general manager there, he just calls me up one day and he tells me, Samir, can you, teach my son? And my initial reaction was like, why me? Because, I'm not into teaching. I'm just working here. He was like, no, I just don't trust him enough to send him to group classes. So he had some trust issues with him. Apparently, group class ne to hene paisa girine na unno. Ramle hali unno dostane bego. Pool parlor te cinema te ne vade hali unno. So favorite akre board and pasai bivyo. So dad didn't want to send him to group classes. So he's like, I trust you enough, so why can't you just come home and, teach him? I was like, okay, fine, because he's my boss. Not directly my boss, but he's a general manager there.
Matlab group class vena jo ain se bahut jane khushwa. Ain ke vadare.
Yeah. In individual class but I had never taught anyone. I had taught maybe my school friends, but I was not into teaching and, I had no idea. Inke am teach karla vyavastha he had taken a U. He had got a U before I started teaching him. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's actually true. He had actually got a U. And so this was the May-June session. Father was like, okay, let's give it a try again in Jan. Because Edexcels, they have May-June, but January mein hoito. So 6 months, literally every Saturday, Sunday, I was with him, coaching him, teaching him. It was nice for me. I was also feeling a bit good. This was the first time I was training someone as well. Mike maja achni, to be honest. Like I was also feeling, yeah, he maja achhi. Kamsi vadare, I was enjoying this. And when he did the exams in Jan, he got an A. Like I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, are you sure? Are you kidding? He was like, no, sir, I've got an A. I got an 83. So I was like, wow, that's fantastic. So when I go to on Monday to office in your page, to yaar, tu in A level bhi sekai, because he had just done A's. So he ends up getting an A star. Then when he got that result, that feeling, like I didn't get that feeling while working in a company. Like even when I met the deadlines, targets, like feeling now, like, that feeling was really priceless. I can't explain it. I was like, wow. Like the whole day I was just, feeling so good. Then right, okay, I taught him, he does khalasane, he be khalasane, back to work, just, get things done. But he both ready, but I got a call from this boy's friends in the lower grade. So his name was Ahmad Hamza from Royal Institute. His friends called me up and say, sir, we heard that you are the one who taught Ahmad Hamza. can you help us out as well? I was like, look, I don't have a place or anything like that. They were like, no worries, sir. We will arrange everything. You come, you teach us. And then I went, taught for those 3 students. Then those 3 turned into 10, 10 into 30, 30 into, just kept multiplying from there. So that's my journey.
I think Shahila has kind of lost internet connection.
Yes,
Sameer.
I think so too.
But Sameer, something you said really kind of got me thinking as well, because being a teacher, lecturer, whatever it is that we do, I think the scores the students bring for us, I think that's our lottery ticket. That's our lottery
Definitely.
ticket. That's our motivation.
It's a priceless
isn't
feeling.
it?
Definitely.
I completely agree with you on that one. I was like thinking the same thing, and in my head I was like, yeah, when my students do the same, the feeling is completely priceless.
It's priceless.
I completely agree with you. Oh, Shaila is back.
Your connection is okay now, Shahila?
Different, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think it's the
Mr.
weather.
Anis, it was so interesting anyways. Yeah, and as far as I know you, Mr. Anis, my son, he has,
Yes.
he also
Studied
was
under me
with
as
you.
well, yes.
Yeah, my connection is okay. Now, I think, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
With the problem, yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but your video is stuck.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
It's lagging.
as far as I know, yes. Yes. So actually, he was not a very good kid when before he came to you. But soon after he came to your academy, what happened was he really didn't want to miss any classes, right? So this is not only my experience, but I think badhe panja me manja ya koi ja bhi bacha ho na.
Your voice just, it was lost after a point.
Right. Okay. So the thing is, now can I know your magic potion for this? Actually, you were when Isa entered, he was not a very good child. I mean, my son, koi ja bhi bacha unta jo anje bete achinta, they are not really good at the beginning. But as I achita manin bad like udasi nikle jo naloch na thoy, matlab they are too attached with you. So can I know the magic potion you all provide? Ke puro enjoy hoy to.
There is no magic potion as such, but every time I try to go for a class, I'm so chances, how can I just make it interesting for them, how can I just make sure they enjoy? So, there is a mental preparation going on for about half an hour, right? Yeah, Raji, there's
Yes,
some
boss.
mental preparation going on. And then maybe, probably when I started, even still I'm young, the age gap was also pretty low. I guess I was in my 25, 26 when I started off, so I was able to really connect with these O-level, A-level kids because they didn't see a huge age barrier either. So I was the language, the informal language we spoke was very similar, so that got us connected. And then then I think that probably is the magic potion, I guess. The communication barrier was pretty less, I guess.
That's nice.
I think Shahila is stuck again. Yeah.
She's stuck again. Yep. This magic potion thing, Sabir, I've heard so much about it. Seriously, I've also heard about how well you connect with the students, because my daughter came to you once or twice as well, like I told you previously. So
I was
yeah,
after we had the conversation, I was really trying to think, if I remember, because she came only for 1 or 2 classes, I'm really unable to.
Yeah, like I said, Alhamdulillah, she's the type who
Alhamdulillah.
who can kind of sort
Could
of
do it
handle
on
her
her own.
own.
True.
So Alhamdulillah, I'm quite blessed.
Alhamdulillah.
She can do it. And like Shahila was saying, when she was talking about the magic potion, I guess this works as teachers. She was talking about the magic potion. A lot of my students come with me and say, "Ma'am, where is your magic wand?" I said, I'm quite strict, so I tell them I don't know about the magic wand, but yeah, my broomstick is ready. I mean, if you're interested, my broomstick is like parked outside, and yeah, you don't really want to see that side of me. But yeah, you're right about that one as well, Ba. And just to touch something else, Ba, I don't know, maybe I'm taking your time. I'm not really sure about
No,
this
no
one, but
worries.
with regards to teaching, I also you were right about the age barrier, Ba. That plays a really huge part, I feel, on a personal note. And I also know that rapport is something that
I hope I'm audible now.
hi.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm so sorry. There's a network issue, I think, because of the weather. Right, okay. So, Neelam, actually, now this question is for you.
Go ahead.
Children are experiencing schooling in absence with social component. What are some of the behavioral concerns that might arise as a result of this? What could parents go to combat this challenge and improve social exposure during this time? Because the pandemic ta pange itro harai matlab itro different thi vi hoy ke chena bachcha chine expose na tha kari sikene ne ke ta chine but children experience and school vina jo dia matlab he school vina to physically na tha kari sikene ke bhi. So what is your thought on that?
Wow. Yeah. These sort of situations, a lot of our children are going to be facing in the future. It's something that I think we'll have to get ready for, seriously. So I think it's a pretty decent question coming in from here. To begin with, one thing that I guess children could still do is, as sad as it sounds, still probably meet up still online, as sad as it sounds, because Vinanjo Chanjaro ta aina just now. Kibine, you can't go anywhere, you can't come anywhere, at least not as conveniently as we took for granted. So shayad again Ganu Chiju jo kari sigunta is probably again meeting online. For example, my youngest daughter, she's online and she hates the idea. And she's quite grown. She's not little. Nandi bachchi ta shayad sauki ne. My nieces, miji bhabhi ji, dine putar bhuj nandai. And still in a online karanta. They are very fidgety. Akri jagate vel line enke
True.
taklif, akri jagate, itri kalaku, like at a stretch to sit down and do. Research with regards to such has proven that we milte jabad, anyways, attention span aina. जरा बोर उबो थियो खपनो जरा चक्कर मारी नचियो खपनो जरा आँखें के रेस्ट करायो खपनो. This is something that you can do. And with regards to meeting with friends, वो भी करियो तो खपनो, लेकिन हाने किदा अचन विनन allowed ने ता वो भी at least बियो की ना ता Zoom में भी बेगा थियो, play some games online, even I know it's a cliche when you say educational games. I know I sound like it's like a cliche thing there, but again, there are a lot of online games that these children can play together still. Hane panj dunia ido change thi vi hoy ke we also have to change with it. We'll have to see what works best for us. Asan ke kro sahi lage to. Hane for example, miji diya na weekend mein ine jo cousins ke sath bade bhegi thi, galu karan tha, games raman tha, bhega vene khen tha. I know again online, lekin byo ki rasto ine ke just now aina. And whenever possible, in a bhega bhi theen tha, but of course ine ta cousins ain, so bhega theen mein matlab I know there is a risk, of course there is a risk, but at least bhega theen ghalta karan tha byo ki na ta चार मारू एंड साथ बियो घालता करन था, not only their parents and their siblings. It's quite sad, at least, really, right now. And a lot of children are going through such issues. It's really scary what kind of the future is in store for us right now, really. Munazia, have you got anything to say with regards? I mean,
Yes, I
anything.
agree with you because nowadays not all students are happy to sit online, and especially I target on the grade 10s and 11s. So they are like, some students are like, teacher, it's a bit not fine for us to do online. Akro chunta. Akro not all attend all sessions regularly. So
Yeah,
I'm
but it's a difficult thing for everyone, right? Even for teachers, I think. And it's not an easy task, right?
teacher
Even for children.
responsibility bhi pache wohi to na ke you have to bring up the child to a standard.
Standard,
Pandemic
exactly.
is affecting everyone, like teachers plus the students.
हाँ बस एक गाल पर रखते नजरअंदाज करते हुए पहीं करूँ थे मुनाजिया आई के क्वेश्चन पूछा थी व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ दिस पैराडाइम शिफ्ट in this educational system of COVID-19 in the 21st century जो ई कोविड जो वजह से जो ई सजो पांचो बच्चा फिजिकल करना वा या जो भी सजो उल्टो थी हुए मतलब पहला सबिन ना वाए स्कूल में ना वाए सबिन ले पे को टाइम गिनो बस ट्रैवलिंग ले टाइम गिनो ड्रेसेस पेर ले खाली चोंती मतलब ड्रेसेस पेर ले कर ले हर चीज ले पर टाइम गिन ना वाए तो वो टाइम भी अच्छे ने पांचो बच्चे तो तब पे आई पूरा सोचो था मतलब ये अचने सारी सारो हुआ है सजो उल्टो थी हुए राइट ये अचने बस लैपटॉप जो सामने या फोन जो सामने बच्चा आजकल दे यूज्ड टू डू ऑल दीस थिंग्स ऑनलाइन ओनली की फिजिकल जो की आई जिना so what are your thoughts on this
Definitely ita saro I na like there is no physical activity at all happening naka school unanta bacha like they mingle around with each other and bade oito so it's definitely not a thing right thing tapu unfortunately we are not left with options we have to adapt with the present system ne bacchen ke bhi as parents we have to
Encourage.
keep trying to entertain them and try to give them some physical activities and parents judge responsibility te hali vyo hai hane ke ikro pa
everything हर चीज जने मम्मी पेरेंट्स मतलब अटैच वेट होता है बुक्स कदन से गिने ने मतलब वडा तो इट्स ओके above 6 year 6 it's okay but pre-grade 2 grade 5 it's really difficult task for all the parents I guess
True.
and the teachers also
and
yes.
not only the
Now, Neelam,
small ones adults also like the grade 10 11s also
does I agree true enough okay Miss Neelam as far as I know you were into law right after your O levels or whatever and now you are a lecturer and a counselor too we would like to know कि आई जो twist की आवो you became a teacher right OP I think after marriage so what is the secret behind that what are your strengths kuro I kuro
Wow. Yeah. Definitely. After my A levels, I did law as a subject, and yes, I did want to do law. I did want to when I was really small, one of those girly dreams of being a lawyer. It's not done yet. I could still be one. I don't know. Maybe inshallah, we'll see. But well, to be honest with you, Shaila, after I got married, the responsibilities were such that, of course, for a while, let's just say the education took a backseat. I was blessed though. I did finish my A-levels before I got married. My father-in-law and my in-laws were completely for this. They were like, oh, kyun tamar ne, aram se karenge, not at all an issue. Bas haan chui dio, and then we'll sit back and wait until she's ready. So that happened. So that was fantastic. So yeah, after marriage, I mean, obviously new life, in-laws and new responsibilities, 3 daughters. So yeah, it was quite a bit of doing. But after my third, I decided that I was done. No more bottles. No more Pampers. I am so done. I needed to kind of refresh my mind a bit, and I took to studying again. So this was Doverbad. My youngest was a year old, and I went back to studying. And my husband completely, he was
mashallah they are so supportive. I think support is very important, right?
And of course you can't do this alone. Oh my goodness, no, definitely not. You cannot do this alone, especially when you have young children, may it be girls or may it be boys. Still, it's a big responsibility. So you can't just say yeah, this was all me. I can't. Not going to say that. Definitely not. My husband, my mom, my dad, my older brother, I had to borrow all their hands. Believe me, these two were not enough. My husband's hands were not enough. I had to borrow all my parents, my brother's hands, and of course, even I lived in a let's just say conservative family, and I didn't live alone. I was living with my in-laws, but my mother-in-law is amazing, and she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. See, like I said, you can't do this alone. You need help. You need help from your family, and my family stood by me like 100%. So I went back to studying, and with studying came the opportunity of work, which I grabbed onto with dear life. Because I never thought that I would work. I didn't. And
you should have that passion also, and your passion ji bhi bahut zarurat hai. If you are passionate, you will definitely achieve your dream at any cost.
For sure. Shaila, something that I always live by is so this is a quote that I kind of use with my students, is that you really need to want something. You really need to want it. And if you do, nothing can stop you.
Exactly.
Of course, there's going to be difficulties, but otherwise it wouldn't be worth it, would it? I mean, if everything,
nothing is impossible, right? The word itself says, "I am possible." मतलब पूछते हो ना बोल. Yes.
Of course. So
Yes.
here I am.
Alhamdulillah. And also, ये दुनिया के खबर है कि women are anyways multitasking, right? The world has accepted it. So, anyways, I just want to know that as a woman, as a daughter, as a wife, and as a daughter-in-law, how do you handle all these equally?
Me again. I think the key here is balance. A lot of people say, "Oh, kida time kida hoigi." That's true. You don't have time. You have to make it. My papa says that okay, you want an extra hour in your day, get up an extra earlier. Voila, extra hour in the day for you to work with. So yeah, that's what I kind of abide by, for sure.
Alhamdulillah. जो work करूँ तो ये भी कामयाबी जी दे तो if you want to do, you definitely do it.
Of course. And
exactly.
Yeah, so there you
are. Yes, Mr. Samir. Yeah.
Yes.
This is for you.
Yes,
I'm sure there must be definitely students who might be, there must be students who must be confused in their, maybe after grade 9s, you all are conducting classes, right? So they must be confused between puro am choose kara, puro am A-levels kara, A-levels baad puro kara. You must be like, वो easy ना था वो अपने बच्चे के मतलब किन में इनके talents वही तो even they are confused at that moment. So how do you guide them? पहला चिंता है कि पूछ लेता. How do you guide them?
To be honest, many don't come and ask because when they come to grade 9, they have already made the selections for science or commerce. So when they come, they're already commerce students. So if it was grade 8, yes, I would have that. But I do get a lot of requests after A-levels, like, sir, what do I do now? Which, they just want me to just guide them. And the question that I usually ask them is, तुके game to karo. And sadly, the reply that I get is, na sir, मुझे खबर नहीं रो, मुझे game to गए नहीं रो की नहीं. But kida career opportunities haraing, money is good, something because you would know. Then I'm forced to give them advice based on that. Like I asked them once or twice, are you sure, like, there isn't anything of a specific interest to you? Na sir, Eroki ne, at the moment, Eroki ne, I'm just doing, EI, UI. So, then based on that, I just give them a general advice. Okay, fine, maybe you can do this, you can do that, maybe you can consider this uni, that university, maybe you can get these and stuff like that. Budgets jo bhi constrained hoy to. So I'm like, okay, then if budget is the case, then maybe these places. So true, like sometimes sometimes it's a bit difficult to figure out as to what you want to do as well. But my advice would be, right, once you figure it out, you would one day eventually figure it out, like what you want to do. Then right, like you would find out, this is what I really like. So my advice would be just make sure to pursue it. Don't think that it's a bit too late. That's a bit of a, because if you take me, like I was working, company was good, I was going on pretty well. But the moment I realized that teaching is what I enjoyed, I just made up my mind that no, I'm not going to work anymore. This is what I'm going to do. So same thing with you. Like, true, you wouldn't have figured it out, but once you figure it out, make sure not to miss out on that, because you don't want to be doing something you don't enjoy for the rest of your life.
For sure, Samir Bha, couldn't agree with you more.
Shahila, can you hear us?
I think internet is lagging.
Everybody is lagging? I think I can hear you.
And I can
Thank
Am
you.
I audible?
So pange kuro game
Yeah.
to pa kuro happy you, we have to follow that.
True.
Definitely.
I'm Lagni.
Yes. So
Some people figure it out very
rakhine
early.
pa han Munazia wata
Yeah.
puchuna hai. Munazia, the effect of virtual learning system on children's health is a given factor that now. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. And Munazia, this is for you. Nahane ee jo pa virtual kari rahi hai. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
you are. You are. Please proceed.
Yes, जो ये virtual जो theory हुआ है, इनमें there are so many children who are affected with the eyesight and headaches and जो health issues घना arise थी भी हैं. So what can you tell us about this? About the children and even the parents, they are more stressed out, right? in physically, mentally, घना parents बड़े stressed out हैं. So what do you think of this?
So, firstly, as a parent, me ke khabar hai ke what's the stress is. Kule my son is also schooling online. Ne unme ghanu stress hoy to, but unfortunately, as I said before, we are left with no options. So we have to adapt. Ne pa unjo breaks di maybe we could balance it the other way around when they're doing the school lessons. Bale online kare ne pachi maybe try to balance it. That
Can you hear me? Did Yes, तो हम करो चो निवेश के चीने हाने जो online platform में हर चीज जो थी रही है, इनमें चीने children and parents both are mentally and physically stressed.
yeah. So definitely now actually school jo kam bhi bade patiyo to hape. So school teachers are also having tasks to complete. So as parents who both stress. Can you hear me?
बाहर के बाहर का ना बाहर का चौन थी करे ने जल्दी बाहर का ना हाँ इंगे चौन आता कम कर
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Munazia,
Yeah, we
please
can
go
hear
ahead.
you. Shahila is having some
So
technical
yeah, I
issues.
think she's having yes. So
Yeah.
end of the day, when it comes to stress, we are not left with any options. Jero chummero ane paat ne kuro kari signai. We have to move out and adapt with the
True.
pandemic. Ne online classes have to happen. Parents have to
true.
cope. Students have to
I
cope.
agree.
It has become compulsory thi hai ki bachyo ne like compulsory act.
Munazia, aincha bacha in karine. You're also a teacher, correct? How did
Yes.
that happen?
So yeah, before marriage, me jo passion akro wo कि I want to own an institute. Uj me jo motive ho. I didn't know what I want to teach ke we ke kuro bhanai nuai what subjects and all that was not my mentality. Tade kuro wo ke I just want to run an institute and do something that way. But she got married and then had kids and I come from a teaching background. My mother-in-law is also a teacher herself. So Udasi, like it was a positive point. After a few years of marriage, I started home tuitions. Ganavar baad, I had my kids, and then in 2016 I started teaching, like the academy. It started MYI Academy, pachi tuitions kariye. Now we are having higher education. We are conducting diplomas now. We also conduct language testing at a national level. The diplomas are actually 80 credits. So this is slowly, we have come up to that level, honey. I'm trying to move forward to higher diplomas. But then again, like with the pandemic, we had to slow down a bit.
Fair enough.
So IT programs and all that has started.
Nice.
That's really great, Munazia.
So it's all a comeback after marriage and after having 2 kids. So I should say
Mashallah.
family the support family una jo taki possible na ho.
Page na to exactly. So you mean कि actually जो भी होए support की बहुत जरूरत है. Backbone should be definitely there, right? And especially family जी support तो बहुत जरूरत है.
जरूरत है.
Okay, Neelam, this question is for you. And Neman community में especially
પહેલા જમાને મેં તા હલો પા O levels કરી આય હલો શાદી થી વી હલો એરો બધે કરનાવા, right? But હાને તા હેરોને now they are like, you know, they think practically and એને કે હી લાગે તો કે okay no we have to બચેંગે કી ના કે કરાયો જ ખપનો, they should become someone, right? So now my question is for you is but in Nemas still there are parents who think કે આપણો હદ તક જે ભણાયો હપે and then વધારે ભણી ગીના તા એને marriage life કે એને ની કરી સિગન બરાબર, you know, and બચ્ચે કે ની સંભાળી સિગન કે એને problems થી વિના, they will have all those, they have to face all those things. So what do you think of this? What will advice and produce ता से community के या कोई के पे एरो सोचन वाले के?
Wow, yeah, well, okay, so गाल तो सही जाए कि yes, लेकिन you know हाने I think there's a lot of change in the attitude.
There is a lot of, but there are at least 5 to 10% people still they are
well, if it's 5 and 10 from 100, if we have come down to a 90%, I think we are way above our quota limits. But even with that said, okay, so just to answer the question, I'll ask you a little bit of a quiz. I know we are lecturer types, I do apologize, but humor me on this one, okay? Alphabet Joe, A to Z, see, assuming the numbers 1 to 26, okay? So the numbers of the alphabet, which word do you think adds up to a 100? There is a word in the dictionary that if you add it up, for example, A is 1, B is 2, and so on. If you add it up, Samir Bhai is already working. If you add it up, the total will be a 100. Any ideas? I know. Lecturer mode. Bear with me. 100 jo percentage. There's a word. Any ideas? And now because that word will have to be spelled in English. Samir Bhai, any ideas?
I had no idea, but I googled it and found it attitude.
That's not fair,
Sorry.
Bhai. Not supposed
Viewers,
to do
you are
that.
free to answer this question.
Samir Bhai has already googled it. You're so unfair, Samir Bhai. Definitely.
Sorry,
I always of course not. Nah, but I always ask this to all my students. So attitude, ladies and gentlemen, make clear, really important part. Balena in Jidabiyo, may it be the workplace, garjo, yeah, studies jo. Attitude has to be a positive one, for sure. Jo bhi aaja attitude hoy na, un pramane you can do, for sure. So if attitude is such where you know the parents prefer their children to study only for a certain extent and get married, settle, whatever, it works for them. But there will be, inshallah, come a time in their lives where they feel, the children themselves feel that they can study further, they can do something with their lives, whatever. I am proof that you can study even after you're married, even after with kids, you can work. So there isn't really an expiry date. So, I mean, you don't really have to be studying when you're young and before marriage. Of course, as someone who's gone through it, I would encourage you do that because it gets more difficult later on. But that said, it's still possible. It's not something that you can't do. So attitude towards whatever it is.
Definitely. Yes. So age is just a number. Even you're 10, 20, 50 or 100, I mean 70 or 80s, whatever the age jo pi hoy, ange passion I learn karan jo ya education karan jo, kida pi vinine I learn karin tase go, you can get your education done. Whatever age is just a number. Because chuntana jitro China jitro chet hoy tabi you can get your education even if it is as far as China. So I think that proves. So actually, Mr. Samir, if I ask you what is, can you give me now there are people who think ke bachchen ke achine kuro ene je family business mein video khape karene. If they are more into their passion, anke kuro lage to ene family jo business sambhariyo khape ke they should follow their passion.
I think they need to do both, I guess.
I agree.
Because they could do both. I mean, business if they are going to take over, it's already established. So he just has to, overlook at a few things, sign a few documents, I guess. Yeah. So it's already well-established business that wants him to take him up. So Mikhail lage to boy kari sikunda. He can perhaps study and then decide, okay, fine, do I really want to give it up on a very well-established business that my dad has built to pursue my passion? Or should I just, continue something that works? So look, you might like something, but pursuing on that, you need to, make some, smart decisions. Okay. Sometimes your passion may not, okay, you like to do something, but you need to see if that will, sustain you over a period of time. So that's something I truly believe. So you can do what you like, but just make sure to check that. And if you do like something, you are passionate and that is something it can sustain you, then perhaps you should take it over and, leave the family business to someone else. So that's my answer.
Right. So you should boy chine kariyo khape kana whatever it is.
Boy karle naro, just try to
Nata
do
pachi?
both. Nata pachi, try to pursue passion if that can give you a sustainable lifestyle. Nakata, please continue with your family business.
Yes, okay. And sometimes ero bhi the ke passion ke na levnu tha sometimes you collapse. I mean, it doesn't work.
True.
So it's definitely it's better incha baad ero ki you can just follow your family business. Right,
Just to
okay.
add to that, sorry, Shahila, I'd like to add to that just because you're studying doesn't mean that you can't really handle, like Samir Bha said, an already established business. Again, attitude is very important there, and also there's a responsibility, right? I mean, your parents are there; they need help with their business
Exactly.
or whatever. So I don't think that just because one person has to study, he or she doesn't need to take over their responsibility. You can do a lot of things together. You don't need to only
Multitask.
study and exactly. I agree, Munazir. I mean, you can if you if you have to and if you want to, both. If you have to also, you can do it, and if you want to, of course, it gets easier.
Exactly, barabar. Jazakallah. And Munazia, there's a question for you. That is, जो आप पूछना चाहें कि वो इसने आजकल अच्छे जो हने घणु बंद करने हैं. I mean, they only take the book knowledge, right? They are like some people like book knowledge is also very important as well as the street knowledge. I mean, वो ये very important है. So what do you think of this? कि approach बस है कि आजकल की lack थे तो मतलब only the educational wise the people are more they are taking only that one. But not the other part. They are forgetting the other part. What do you think of this?
No, I don't
Book
think
smart
that
and street smart.
I don't think that books alone should be. We shouldn't stick to books alone. Boeing giriyo hopno. So, but you should go with both. Naka, you might fall off. Gana jagayante
No.
you might,
Yeah, true. But can you just elaborate on that?
Jane, like, yeah, so book based is you're limited with knowledge. Har ghal mein pa books jo na le unai ta pan knowledge limited uno. But if we are like you do something practical like hamesa try to think out of the box, you will do better.
Inshallah, definitely. Boy barabar jero bade handle kariyo hape. But you have to just boy barabar jo equally handle kariyo to hape.
Yes, you need both knowledge, both sort of knowledges together like.
True enough. So the effect of online learning systems on children's health definitely ऐसा जरा घाल करी गिरी आयु तब यहाँ के कुरो लगे तो फ्यूचर में कुरो थी नो मतलब यहाँ ने जो माथो दुखावा ने जो आम ऐसा घाल करी आयु ये चीज़ अज्ञा में ने कुरो थी नो पा एरो ना थे कि like after so many years ने doctors बते उभा उन ने मते एरो बते किले chances आए because of this always there हने आजकल तो basketball girl guiding या boy scout हर चीज़ online में थी रही है. So what do you think of this? के पाई खूब मतलब आई कुरो सोचो ता इंचे बारे में.
Key choice aina at the moment. So badare ineke matho dukhav nei bade ache to not because of only using the online platform for education. It's already excessive use of social media coupled with the times being spent on education. So that together is taking about 8 to 10 hours. You understand? So if you take the social media aspect out, the YouTube time out, the Netflix time out, and let's say a particular kid is just using the online platform for education and maybe a few other things, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes for other work, I'm pretty sure he can still be a healthy kid despite studying
Definitely.
online and all
Sorry
that.
for interrupting. अजकल थे ना तो
Yeah.
मतलब कोई जो phone
Yeah.
गिने थे या laptops गिने था, they just do their school work and then thereafter and जो वही तो बियो बदेश ना रहता. So I think
That
that must be
consumption, that consumption is having a bigger effect on health rather than just using
The school
the
stuff.
online platform for school. So they could perhaps reduce that, while, because I mean, if you are concerned about your health, on average, let's say you want to use 4 hours of screen time, maybe you can use 3.5 hours for education and half an hour to आगे जो गमे तो जरा नार लेने इकर लेने बदे. Film जो नान हुए, a lot of kids, you watch it in the phone and all, that's actually like very bad for
Yeah.
you because you're watching in a very small screen. You'd rather watch it on TV. So Uber is having a bigger effect on eyes and the brain and all that, rather than just this online educational thing.
Schooling. That's
Schooling.
easier. It's an easier bit though, Pa. I've got a headache.
Yeah.
I can't study anymore. That's an easier
yeah,
bit.
definitely.
So much
But-
easier.
But he did have a headache
all
while
the
using
school-
yeah.
Of course
No
not.
headache
Of
while
course
using
not.
social media.
Of course. It's all the school's fault. Can't do this like on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Inshallah, jaldi school खुली हुई and बदेश नहीं बदेशी free थी हुई inshallah. So yes, Neelam.
Yeah.
What is the good educational initiative for the progress of our community, and how do you plan on contributing towards this initiative?
Wow. Never thought of it that way, really. Okay, so initiative. Wow. I've always been an advocate for higher studies. Good Lord, I've always been that. So I would definitely encourage parents to educate their children, may it be boys or girls, really. So I don't know if in any ways that they can speak to someone and clarify. The thing is, I think mostly parents are scared to get their kids educated. I don't know whether it's the lack of knowledge or the lack of information. I don't know what it is, but I wish something like that would, I'm sure, in fact, Samir Bhai is listening. Bhai is listening. The other Samir Bhai, Yunus, he's also
Yes.
listening. So I'm sure he'll come up with something as an initiative to, kind of encourage parents to encourage their students, their kids to study further, and and I don't know. I think parents should also consider and encourage their kids to do things that they enjoy, because of course, like I said, if there is a family business, of course you have to help your parents. I'm not denying that, but also encourage them. The world is so large. Everything is at your fingertips. You've got so many options. Oh my God, it wasn't like when we were studying. We had only
should
to
always be
a doctor,
positive.
a lawyer. Yeah, you either be a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer. That's it. You're set for life. That's it. If you can't do that, then ideally you're a failure.
But now it's not like you have lots of opportunities, right?
For
Itra
sure.
bade so
For
many
sure.
doors open for so many
Of course,
things.
of course. And I would encourage people to even speak to mothers. Maybe, I don't know, I don't even mind if anyone speaks to me and says, how would you encourage your daughters to do what they do. I mean, I'm all for it. Maybe if they spoke to or had an open forum where they could speak and ask questions with regards to parents who have already gone through such things. I mean, we have such educated children now. I mean, we Maimans have reached like wide and far, and I don't know. I would encourage such people to talk to them, see that it's not a scary thing really to encourage your children to study further. I think it might, for what it's worth, it might be better now, really. Yes, I mean, it's like a lifelong thing.
Lifelong
So,
journey, no doubt about it.
yeah.
Lifelong journey. It doesn't have a
Samir,
stop.
help
You
me
can
out
learn
here, Samir.
till the death. From the cradle to the death. I mean, you can do, like, you can
for
do your
sure.
journey. It goes on, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Munazia, teaching is a fulfilling profession and it's a noble profession. What do you think of it? What can you
Yes,
say?
So now that I have moved into the managing part, now I don't teach much, but I used to teach. So it's like a satisfaction when your student is like fulfillment acha to jade your student is like, teacher, I got good marks. Like then you get the vibe ke, right? Okay, you're on the right
You're
path.
satisfied.
Satisfaction, self-satisfaction ke, right? You're doing what you want. That is the main thing. You give the support to the students. You're a backbone. We have social platforms, okay. Teach a friend. That is what we are doing at the moment for the OL students. Okay, teach a friend. You're a student, teach another student. But the current time the students are coming out and saying, teacher, this is a great platform for us. You are giving us a
Yeah.
place to explore our teaching skills, or we find it very easy to clarify our doubts. The word sunun time there, you're like, you've done it.
Yeah,
So I think
in
that is
the
the
job, yeah. मतलब ये कहे छे ने पर जो मेहनत करूँ तो टाइम ते पाके बोझ लगे तो but the results, when the results comes, definitely you think that you're okay, but the thing we have achieved, right? So yes. So Mr. Samir Anis,
Yes.
what's your message to the youngsters when making big career choices? એને जो career choices करनो है ताई करो आई advice दियो उनका.
Career choices. So I'm like when starting to work, is it?
Yeah, when soon after the A-level, soon after the degree, कोक जना मतलब इन्हें जो profession पूरो की choose करने.
They need to keep a few options open. They can't be just, thinking I'm only going to do this, because Sri Lanka, if you look at the labor market, it's not very, very fancy. You can't be very choosy and picky. Maybe you can just keep your options a bit open on a few avenues that you enjoy, and then keep applying and see where you get the call. Because let's say you're from a background where there is no connections, you come from a very normal middle class family, you really can't get into a company because of daddy knows somebody here, or I know someone there. So in that case, you will have to just apply for a few companies, just get in the hard way, and then once you start working, you will realize, okay, marketing department mein jara maja ochi achhi, maybe I'll enjoy that more, because you will have friends in other departments. You'll realize what they do. You understand? Then
You
realize,
have to
okay,
listen to your heart. You have to listen to your heart.
you will have to listen to your heart, because like I said, it will take some time for you to figure out exactly what you want to do, and then maybe you can decide on career choices. Even if you want to do a business one day, I advise you to work somewhere, see how they manage a company, because that will give you some tips on how you should manage a company one day.
Agreed.
So career choices, keep it a bit open. In short, just keep it a bit open, explore a few avenues. Once you get in, you'll realize what you really like, and then maybe take it forward from there.
For sure.
Great, for sure, mashallah. And also, खाने जो भी questions zone listeners, viewers, you all can put it in the chat box. We are ready to answer them.
Munazia, can I ask you a question? I'm sorry, I'm just really curious.
Yes, sure.
Munazia, I was just thinking, you've started your own educational institute, as you said. So are you affiliated with any outside colleges, or I mean, how does it work with you?
I'm affiliated with the International Professionals Academy UK. That's one.
Okay.
And then
nice.
I'm affiliated with the SDFL Sri Lanka, that's Skills Development Sri Lanka. That's along with EdHat UK. So these are my affiliations at the moment. And I'm also registered with TVEC, that is the Tertiary, Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission. So I'm working with these three. My work is a bit slow due to the present situation, but alhamdulillah, no complaints.
Of course not.
Alhamdulillah.
Are you thinking of kind of going with anything a little bit more college level internationally?
Yes,
I'm just asking.
That's my intention. That's my plan.
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. And Munazia, if I ask you this question, just give an advice, not a question, an advice to our youngsters on education, or I mean, whatever you think.
Yes, as we already discussed, age is just a number. I'm very. I should give this as an example. Okay, we have conducted a lot of courses for ladies who are above 30. They are using those skills for their day-to-day lives. Their age is not a barrier. Keep studying. Every day is a learning curve.
For sure.
Keep trying. and one day you can achieve what you want to. And definitely willpower.
Willpower, yeah, that is very
Keep it
important.
strong.
Thank you, Munazia.
That's what I
Jazakallah khair. Yes,
Okay.
I think it's time for us to wrap up. Samir sir, do you want to tell anything as an advice?
Yeah, advice would be, take life a bit serious, man. You're spending too much time on Netflix, YouTube, Instagram. It's a bit scary, It's a bit scary. Like when I compare them with me, okay, exams, my mother doesn't have to tell me. I would just take the books and, through the, you have to push them so much just to get it done. I'm thinking, यार इजरा भी सोचे ना तो in the future के बारे में थरके ना तो यार, so just, you don't have to take it too serious. At least, just make sure you, time it accordingly, have time to watch. I'm not telling you to just only study, just have your priorities set and get things done because, life is not easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, just get a bit serious. That's my message.
मतलब पांच बच्चा हैरान कि only at the last moment they take the books and hello pai karu ne, not like that. You have to at least keep a touch in whatever they are doing, right?
Yeah, why should someone tell you to study? I mean, it's for your future.
I agree.
I need jab karo, I need giri na karo, mummy kulle chunda, daddy kulle chunda, I just sare le chunda na. Jab giri na karo, and today it's very scary. I mean, the amount of time they spend on all these because there's a lot of entertainment at hand, right? You could just be zoned out for 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, just don't go to that, place. Maybe just, get your mind right and, take it a bit serious, at least closer to the exams. Probably a month or two before the exams, if you can streamline and get things done. That would be my message, Just have goals, targets, and just work towards it.
Yes.
Agreed.
Thank you so much, Samirva. And Neelam, what would be your advice finally?
I keep it very, very simple. Very simple. You really need to want to do what you're doing. That's all there is to it. You really need to want to do it. That's it.
That's it. See, the simple message. You don't ande mein khatam kari dinya, Sanjay Neelam. Okay, so I think it's time for us to wrap up the session. We had an informative session also. And happy Teachers' Day to all of you. And thank you so much for teaching how to fish. And thank you for being with us today. And heartfelt gratitude goes to Maiman Association of Sri Lanka for conducting this webinar. And I also would like to thank Mr. Samir Yunus. Ida design tanatha, tabi andhar itro badai sanja kam kari riyan. Jazakallah khair, Samir Yunus ba. Ne meke bhi opportunity dinya ke hosting karen je. Jazakallah. And a big thank you to the audience as well. And last but not least, I would like to thank the audience also for participating. And also Jazakallah khair. And stay safe, stay home. If you are not vaccinated, get yourself vaccinated. We'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.